Hi everyone, Kenny Pua here. Welcome to Let's Play Together session. Right, welcome back to Ukulele Aerobics week number 17. Today is Monday. We are going to do some chords vocabulary. Okay, so let's take a look at the score. So today we are going to do some of the diminished 7 chords as well as also 6 chords and also the 13. Okay, so the G diminished 7 chord, which is actually the chord number 1. So there are a total of 2, 4, 6 chords that we need to learn today. So 2 of them is actually a movable chord pattern, and then the last 2 is actually not movable. Okay, so if you want to make it movable, also can. All right. So let's take a look at the first one, the G diminished 7. So G diminished 7, how we actually going to press? You can actually do this by actually pressing on the first fret using the first finger on the third string and also the first string, okay, using second finger. So this is G diminished 7. Okay, so if you want to move change it to become a movable chord, so you may want to switch your fingering to become 2 and 3 like this. Okay, so that when you actually move, you can use the bar chord here, okay, using first finger to change it to probably a G sharp diminished 7 like this. Or if you move 2 fret upwards, it becomes the A diminished 7, which is your second chord, okay, for the day. So if you don't want to use the second and third finger only, you may utilize all the fingers. So from here on the G diminished 7, you press on the first fret on the third string and first string using the third and fourth finger here, and then when you move 2 fret upwards, okay, you replace the open string with the fret number 2 here, because your string number 3 and number 1 is actually moved from fret number 1 to number 3, so your open string should move until fret number 2. So here you can use 1 and 2, finger 1 on the fourth string, finger 2 on the second string. Okay, so also will give you the A diminished 7. So this is actually a movable chord pattern. Okay, G diminished 7, and then when you move 2 fret upwards, it becomes A diminished 7, which is actually your chord number 2. Okay, so this chord number 2, A diminished 7. So likewise, you can actually change to use the finger 2 and 3 here, and then bar all the way for fret number 2. Also will give you this A diminished 7 like I mentioned before. Okay, so A diminished 7 for this one. First one, G diminished 7, and then move 2 fret up, A diminished 7. Likewise, use finger 3 and 4, and then move up, A diminished 7. Okay, or if you stuck with this fingering on the 1 and 2, then you need to switch like this. Okay, just move and then form it back. Okay, just move, form it back. So it's also easy. Okay, so depends on you how you want to make the changes or the chord progression itself. Okay, so in this description itself, it does says that this G diminished 7 chord pattern is actually a symmetrical chord. That means each of the notes also can be the root chord. The root note. So that means instead of calling it a G diminished 7, you can also call it a B flat diminished 7, or C sharp diminished 7, or E diminished 7. Okay, so this is the concept that the author wants to introduce to us. So next, we are going to look at the third chord, which is actually the C diminished 7. So this is actually not the easiest chord to form, but with the second position here on the second fret, is still okay. Okay, right, because it's only utilizing 3 fingers. So you can actually form this chord by using the first finger on the second fret of the second string, okay, and then second finger on the third fret of the third string, and then the pinky finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string. So this will become your C diminished 7. Okay, C diminished 7, C diminished 7. Okay, So if you want to make it to become a movable chord, to become the next chord, the chord number 4, which is D diminished 7, so you need to make a little changes here. The first and second finger here you need to replace by second and third finger here. Okay, like this, right? So this is really not very easy to form because you need to open up your pinky finger here to form this. And then when you move 2 fret up, 1 and then 2, and then you need to put in your first finger on the first string on the second fret. So this will become your D diminished 7. Okay, it's very difficult to open it up for beginners, but you do need to actually understand this, how to actually form, and also try to practice it. So this is D diminished 7, C diminished 7, and then movable to become D diminished 7. Okay, so just practice this one. This one will need a little bit of effort because you need to try to open up the first and second finger here, as well as the third and also the fourth finger here. The interval here is quite big because there is 1 fret apart. Okay, so this D diminished 7. Right, next chord number 5, which is actually the G6. So G6 is a little bit similar to G diminished 7, just that it is on the second fret. Okay, so you can either choose to use the first and second finger here on the second fret on the first and third string, or you can use the second and third. Okay, likewise also you can use third and fourth. Okay, so if you use second and third, when you become a movable chord, you need to do like this, means bar all the way on the second fret, and then these 2 finger here remains second and third, but it will be 1 fret apart. Okay, compared to the previous one, which is actually like this, the A diminished 7. Okay, but this one is become your A6. Okay, G8, A6. Okay, from here and then here. So if you want to make it to become more comfortable, you may use the finger number 3 and number 4, and then use the bar on the from here. Yes, use the bar on the second fret. So similar to the concept just now on the finger 2 and 3, just that it is actually a different finger on the first and third string. So this will become your A6. So G6, A6. Okay, so for this today exercise is just G6 is enough. Okay, I just explain you on the concept of movable chord. So when we go to the chord number 6, which is actually the last chord for the day, which is called a C13. So this one they add in the 13th note of the counting from the C. So it's actually an A sharp. Okay, so A sharp is here. Okay, the 3rd fret. So this is your C13. Okay, 13th chord. Okay, so it's actually very weird sound. So if let's say you were to actually make it to become a movable chord, so likewise 1, 2 fret, and then fret number 2 you need to bar all the way. Okay, it becomes the D13 from here, and then D13. Okay, this is C13. This is D13. Okay, just move 2 fret upwards, it will form your movable chord. Okay, so again I want to explain, movable chord means you can actually move it upwards to the fretboard here while covering all the strings that you are actually going to play. Okay, so for example here, this one, since you are playing all the strings, so when you move it up 2 fret upwards, you need to cover below 3 strings, which is actually from open string, it will become your 2nd fret. So you need to cover that. Okay, so this is how we do make it a movable chord. So some chords is actually omit some of the strings, so that one also can call the movable chord, as long as you don't play that strings. Okay, Right. That's all on all the chords. These are the 6 chords that we need to learn today. The first one, which is actually the G diminished 7. Okay, and make it to become the A diminished 7, and then to the C diminished 7. Sorry, like this. C diminished 7, and then to the most difficult part, which is D diminished 7. Alright, and then go back to the G6 and then C13. Okay, so that's all on all the 6 chords for today. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Click the subscribe button and also turn on the bell. And if you think this video is actually useful for others, do share that out as well. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow on the next exercise on week 17. Alright, and do take care and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.